Hey gamers, it's Nico. In this review, I'll be telling you whether or not you should spend your money on simulation visual novel Roommates by Winter Wolves. Let's get started. Another day, another dating sim. This time it's Roommates by Winter Wolves for the PS4. Winter Wolves also developed Amber's Magic Shop, which is another stat-based simulation visual novel I reviewed that was lackluster because of the stat system that was all over the place. It's $19.99 on the PSN store. I've played this on Steam, and the only real difference between this version and the Steam one is that there is an optional suggestive content filter for nudity. You can also buy it on Nintendo Switch, Xbox One, Linux, and Mac OS. Roommate starts off playing like a visual novel, but then tosses you into a calendar stat management system. The game allows you to choose between the self-proclaimed rock god Max or timid bookish Anne to start your first college year. The cast consists of Max, the rock god, Anne, the shy bookworm, Dominic, the goody two-shoes RA, Sally, the free-spirited vegan, Rakesh, the eccentric artist, and Isabella, the spicy Latin girl. There are a few other side characters, but they're not important to your budding romance. Each gender has one same-sex romance option and one you can't romance. If you're Max, you can't romance Dominic, but you can romance Sally, Rakesh, Anne, and Isabella. If you're Anne, you can't romance Sally, but you can romance Max, Dominic, Rakesh, and Isabella. I appreciate the inclusion of same-sex romance, but the limited options make it feel like an afterthought. You can expect to be frustrated with the stat management part of the game, which is essentially a large part of the entire game. It's terrible and simplistic in that each task raises one stat and positively or negatively affects your stamina and money. This makes it so that you'll just plan the same tasks over and over again in order to get the necessary stat count in order to romance your roommate of choice. The result? A mindless progression of your week where you literally watch days pass on a calendar, sometimes interrupted by events which you'll interact with your roommates. Gaining affection with anyone outside your romance choice makes zero difference because you won't get the corresponding romance scenes unless you have a total number of stats specific to that character. You will get honorable mentions during the game's epilogue, but that's highly dependent on how invested you are in the individual. There's no way to max out all stats during a single playthrough, which is limited to 21 weeks, meaning you need one playthrough per character to see the romantic ending. What the game doesn't tell you until you get to the end is that there's also a hidden stat requirement for a true ending. What's more is that after the hidden stat requirement notification comes up after you finish the game, basically telling you to go back and get more points if you want to see the perfect ending, which is actually just 2 to 3 more lines of flavor text. Yeah, worth. Most VNs have a lot of really pretty art stills that showcases your characters and others. Not here. You get 2 whole screenshots when you romance someone. Even the special events don't have any stills of anything interesting. The backgrounds are even reused in multiple areas without recoloring. It's lazy. If you've played Amber's Magic Shop, it plays like that, where you play a little VN and then you have a stat management type of scenario. In Roommate's case, it was a calendar full of activities that net you points. Nicole is another visual novel with a terrible stat management system. Stat management systems are either a hit or miss. While they can add to VNs, they more often cause frustration. I implore you to wait for a sale. Roommates is not a dating sim to lose any sleep over. It feels a lot like trying to pass an exam with how carefully activities and jobs have to be scheduled. From using multiple backgrounds to characters that feel paper thin, Roommates is best played without stressing over perfecting the stat manager and just enjoying it for the visual novel aspect. Because once you start trying to crunch numbers, you'll spend most of your time reloading if you don't get the stats just right, and the game will end up feeling like homework. And that's all you need to know about Roommates. Make sure you thumb up the video and share it around, and subscribe to stay in the know. I've been Nico.